Sierra Oscar from Sierra Oscar 2, receiving over.
Receiving Sierra Oscar 2.
Did Alec Peters go for his fitness test, Yorkie?
Yeah, just gone. We drove him out with a baton charge.
Sergeant Peters?
Yes?
Come on over, it won't bite you.
Well, I'm only here for the fun of it, you know. I'm not worried about anything. In fact, I think I'm in pretty good nick for my age.
How old are you? 50?
Oh, 43.
Of course it ought to be compulsory. I mean, you've got to take a fitness test to get in the job, don't you? So you ought to have to stay fit. I mean, what's the use of a 40 fags a day man with a beer gut when it comes to a riot?
I don't think Alec Peters attends riots.
I'm not talking about Peters, I'm talking in general. I mean, have you been for a fitness test?
Going after work. If I got time.
Yeah.
Carrying a wee bit there, Sergeant.
Well, I've always been like that, even as a child.
OK, we've got your blood pressure. Now we need your heart rate. Hop up. Aye. 6 minutes on the bike. Feed you into the computer. And then we'll know all we need to know. Off you go.
Hang on, bit of action here, Frankie.
Receiving Sierra Oscar 2.
Urgent assistance required. Pursuit vehicle to intercept Orange Marina. Registration number, Mike Papa Romeo. 923 Whiskey. Heading east along Paul's Grove Road. Suspected robbery.
It's all right, I'm just maintaining contact. I'm not pursuing.
Just make sure you just maintain contact, all right?
Get out. I don't know what you're chasing me for. I ain't done nothing. They hijacked me. I put a knife at me throat.
Get in. You've never gone and lost them.
What do you mean they had a 50-yard start?
Well, we'll just have to make do with you then, won't we, sunshine?
I had nothing to do with it. They hijacked me.
Denies all knowledge. Says they just jumped in the car, put a knife to his throat and hijacked him. Bring his car in, will you? It's a sitting down job. Should be able to manage that.
You been to Bethnal Green with this thing yet?
I was there last week.
Oh, and how did Dennis Newbury get on?
He had to put his leg over the same as you, Sergeant. It's confidential, like your result will be.
Yeah. But, hey, what are you doing now?
You're just making it a wee bit harder for you, Sergeant. You've got to get up to 140 beats a minute. Come on, come on.
Yeah.
Both assailants are white, one in his early 20s, one a bit older. The younger one threatened Mrs. Barry with a knife while the older one took the money out of the till. They got about 60 quid all told.
When you finish there, you go to 17 Cheveley Road. A burglar's been reported. That's 17 Cheveley Road.
Of
Mrs.
course.
Bond.
Told you. BCQ.
Talking of which, where's me date slab?
I've confiscated it, Sergeant, in your own interests. Do you know what causes most heart attacks in this job?
Falling a kip on nights. Give it back.
Fat around the heart. And every bite of this stodge...
It's not stodge, this is the wife's speciality. If God had meant us to live on celery, he'd have given us mechanical teeth. What are you doing there, Haynes?
Is your fitness printout, Sarge?
Yes.
What was your rating? Below average, Sarge.
Actually, I'm quite pleased. It could have been worse. Could have been poor or medically unfit.
Yeah, well, mine was excellent, sir.
Shows you how much a bicycle knows.
Well, you've got a lot to do, haven't you? Well, basically, the garden's very sweet, too. It's been rather let go, of course. Mrs. Purdy couldn't manage it anymore, and her son wasn't particularly helpful.
He was there when we bought the place. Hmm? The gravestone. Good quality, very collectible. Worth at least a couple of hundred now the Yanks are moving into that market.
Not that we were going to sell it, of course. I thought it was rather fun.
When you say a gravestone, so you mean it was actually standing in the ground, marking a grave?
In loving memory of Gloria.
Mrs. Purdy's cat.
CID are definitely all out.
No sweat, we can handle it. I have permission. Come on, Mr. Rydell, this way. What about his car?
AOK, I called it the Swansea.
It's a bit cocky, innit, mate? Using your own car? Someone's tearing it to pieces, I hope.
Mal's giving it the once-over now.
In there. Take a seat. Right, Mr. Rydell. Let battle commence.
So you reckon we could be looking for an international gang of gravestone smugglers, do you, sir?
Oh, I'm surprised you find it funny. I sort of assumed you took theft seriously. Then again, with a clear-up rate of 4%, maybe not.
Simon?
Anyway, if you did want to stir yourselves and pursue enquiries, it could be worse than start with the old girl's son. He just about took the wallpaper off the walls when he moved her out. Penny-pinching little oik.
It was still a snip, Simon.
Precisely why I wouldn't put it past him to sneak back and pinch something else.
Perhaps we ought to let him know anyway, just in case Mrs. Purdy was, well, thinking of coming back sometime. To lay flowers on Gloria's grave?
Still sure you don't want a solicitor?
I don't need a solicitor. I ain't done nothing.
Only the fact you got no previous don't impress me, pal. Your two mates...
They weren't me mates.
The two blokes you so obligingly gave a lift to this morning had just committed a very nasty armed robbery. And they have left you well and truly in it, my son. Why do their time as well as your own, eh? Come on, who were they?
I don't know. I was just sitting there in my car with the engine running.
Oh, you admit that then, do you?
I was only stopped for a sec to check my road map.
Road map? You haven't mentioned that before. Was there a road map in his car?
Yeah.
Lost then, were you? Wheelman's supposed to have the knowledge, you know. Wheelman? Getaway driver?
I wasn't their getaway driver.
Then why didn't you stop when you saw us?
Did you stop with a knife there?
And what about when they bailed out? Did you have a knife to your throat then, did you?
I panicked. I just wanted to get as far away from them as possible.
From them? Or us?
90. 20. There you go. Wonderful.
The point being, Sarge, a fit person's heart beats at 60 to 70 a minute, right?
Yeah.
Whereas an unfit person's has to hammer along at 80 to 100. You add that up. That's over 58,000 extra beats a day your ticker's coping with.
Hello, Stonewall Police Station. Can I help you?
Yeah, but this training programme the computer's dished out, I couldn't go jogging, the dog would laugh.
Why? At least he didn't have to keep waiting for you to catch up.
I don't take him out, that's the wife's job.
Sarge,
Yeah.
that was Covington's. The Undertaker's.
Tell them I'm not ready. Never mind what this says.
A corpse has gone missing.
So you parked the van out there then?
Yeah, the yard was chocker and I couldn't get in. It's a transit like that one.
You didn't have to leave the keys in the ignition, Darren.
Well, I wasn't gone 5 seconds, was I, Mr. Covington? I just went to ask Phil to shift the Daimler.
5 seconds, literally?
Well, not literally, no, I couldn't find him straight off.
How long then, a minute?
Yeah, a minute.
Can we go inside now, please?
So when you came back, the van had gone?
Yeah, it vanished completely.
Established 90 years, this firm, Darren. And you are the first person to lose a body.
There was no one around when you left the van?
Well, I weren't looking, was I? All I was thinking about was that tosspot Phil. He always leaves the Daimler so I can't get in. Every morning I get back from the hospital loaded with stiffs and every...
Good morning, sir. Madam. Just one moment, please. Stephen, I think we'd better go through the back here.
But you only had one body this morning?
Yeah, it was a bit of luck, that. There's usually 2 that croak at St Hilda's for a start.
There's nothing wrong with it, is there? I mean, the deceased didn't have AIDS or hepatitis B.
Well, no, it's a nice, healthy one. A man of 70 died peacefully of natural causes.
It He is in a coffin, I assume.
Well, he was when I last saw him, yeah. Oh. Mr. Covington, it's not the crime of the century, is it? I mean, after all, it's only a stiff gone missing.
Only a stiff? I don't recall this cavalier attitude at your job interview, Darren. That stiff is someone's brother, and that someone will be here shortly expecting to view the body.
Yes?
Mr. Bruce Purdy?
She hasn't had a fall, has she?
Sorry?
Mother, we keep telling her, use the lift, that's what it's there for.
No, this is a sort of unofficial visit. Doing my friendly neighbourhood bit. Although it is about your mother, in a way. Thank you, sir.
Oh, not in there. Caroline's just done the hoovering.
Oh, what, in here?
Yes, please. I won't offer you a cup of tea if you don't mind. I was just going out.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry to intrude.
Well, what's she done? Mugged the warden? I say to Caroline, I don't know about sheltered accommodation. They'll need sheltering from her.
Yeah, I've just come from Cheveley Road, Mr. Purdy. You know, your mum's old house. Mr. and Mrs. Bond.
Oh, grasping yuppies. Well, she's not too bad, but him, well...
Well, apparently, the gravestone's been stolen. You know, the one in the back garden. And Mrs. Bond's very worried in case...
Well, you know who's done that, don't you?
Sorry, sir, you wanted to be kept informed. No joy with him yet.
I'll be in.
Right, sir.
Oi!
Yes, sir.
You been on this thing yet, Frank?
Not yet, no, sir.
Why not?
Having to go later, sir.
Good.
No answer. She must have already left.
Bit previous, ain't she, Mr. Covington? We wouldn't have even had time to tidy him up even if we hadn't lost him.
The bereaved have a right to pay their respects whenever they wish, Darren.
Well, Mr. Covington, there doesn't seem to be any point in me hanging around. We put out a general call, so hopefully...
You stay right here, please. People can become very unbalanced in grief.
Look, it's perfectly simple, old son. If you was looking at your map, you were going somewhere. All you've got to do is tell us where you were going, we'll check it out, and that's it, innit? Bingo. A free man. We've got enough to charge you on, you know. Couldn't be you were on your way to another job, could it? For another mob? There isn't some gang of blackguards standing around on a street corner somewhere still waiting for their wheelman, is there? Where were you going?
11:30. Coffee break. Everything all right, Ramsey?
I think so, thank you, sir.
I'll take over for a bit then, shall I? There's no problem. PC Frank's kept me up to date.
As you wish, sir. Whatever you think's best.
Mm-hmm. You two can get back out on patrolling, can't you?
Yes, sir. Sir.
Get this man a cup of coffee before you go.
What did you say to him?
That you weren't making much headway.
And what do you know about interrogation? Well, you can get a little toe rag his coffee.
What do you mean a hitch? I missed him at the hospital. I don't see how I can have missed him here as well. There's nowhere else he can go without my say-so. I'm doing his arrangements.
If they're not ready for us, Iris, they're not ready. Let's go and do a bit of shopping.
Shopping? I haven't come all the way from Slough to do shopping.
Well, you were never in such a rush to see him when he was alive. Poor old git. It must be 20 years since we last came up here.
Time's got nothing to do with it. He was my brother. And my family have always made a point of seeing each other when they die.
The problem is, Mrs. Talbot, someone's stolen the van with your brother in it.
Poor old Jack. We always said he'd be late for his own funeral.
Wonder what Conway's fitness rating is.
Pretty good, I shouldn't imagine.
Yeah, from the neck down.
743 from Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
Sierra Oscar 2 receiving, over.
Disturbance in Groundsall Road, 743. Resident reports 2 men fighting in the street.
Terrific. I could do again, stuck in. Groundsell Road, quick.
You want another one?
No, thanks.
You know you've got the right to inform somebody that you're here, don't you?
I told him I don't want a solicitor.
Yeah, well, not just a solicitor. Mum, dad, girlfriend, anyone you like.
Let's have you. How can he? Give us my money! You frigging maniac! You punchy-feeling punch! Cool it!
Are you going to ease off or are you going in the back of the van?
What's the problem?
He's smashing up my motor, that's the problem, innit?
You pussy frigging liar!
You're a nutter! Shut up! What's all this about?
I've done work for him and he owes me money.
What work?
On this motor, 300 quid's worth at me garage.
This man totally...
I told you to shut up.
What garage?
Feetham Arches off of Gruber Street.
I've never been near the place. Who's going to pay for this?
You are, you shyster! Look! OK. Look, I've done the work, right? The brakes, the clutch, the lot, all but the tune-up. He calls in, I tell him it's all done. Right, he says, I'll call back tomorrow and pick it up and pay for it. So I come in tomorrow and the frigging motor's gone, hasn't it?
Well, how do you know he took it?
Because it's outside his frigging house! Come on, get out of the way! Get out! Out of the way!
What are you, 19? I imagine you've got better things to do with your time than just sit here, haven't you? Look, the car's clean, you're clean, you don't look like a villain, so why wouldn't you tell the other officer where you were going, eh? Come on, Sean, it can't be all that terrible, can it?
I didn't trust him.
Yeah. Well, you can trust an old hand like me, can't you? Everybody trusts me, except the wife, of course.
Interview.
Interview?
For a job.
Mm-hmm. Where?
Rashley Road, Whitechapel.
Mm. And what job's that, then?
Male stripper.
Sorry?
Male stripper. You won't tell me, Mum, will you?
Moving here was his idea, not mine. I wanted to die in Cheveley Road. Everyone that I ever cared for lived and died in Cheveley Road. Oh, I was going all right. Well, I fell down now and then, dropped a few things, but then we all drop things, don't we, dear? Yes, of course we do. Even he dropped things. They took all my furniture. She knows about antiques. I've got a few things upstairs, but only things she didn't want. Would you like to see my flat, dear? And me boyfriend?
Yes, please, both.
Right then, sir. Sorry about all of that.
Oi! What's he been sprayed for?
Being innocent.
Shut up! Right! Get out! I am going.
You know, it's very nice of you to see me.
Yes, well, like I said, Bruce suggested that I call.
Oh, we'll take the lift, as he's not here.
He was telling me about the gravestone.
On his conscience, I shouldn't wonder. She didn't ought to be here. She's incontinent. Well, it's not fair to the warden. We're all supposed to be independent here. Out of the way, but independent. They wouldn't let me bury Dick in the garden. So when Gloria passed away, Dick was my husband. So when Gloria passed away, I dug my heels in. She was a wonderful cat. Cooey, Gilbert, I'm back. Some people say they're standoffish, but you know, I had more warmth out of Gloria than I've ever got from any humans, except Dick. Oh, and Gilbert. Of course, that's 10 years ago now. Oh, I never got another cat. Didn't seem right somehow. I might find myself another husband, though. That'll show 'em.
It's a nice flat you got here.
But no garden. Not one of my own. It's me boyfriend. Gilbert, come in now. Don't be shy. This is PC Ackland. She wants to know how we did it.
I told you we'd get turned over, Babs.
Hang on a second. Turned over for what? What have you two been up to?
It's because you ripped your trousers on the fence. They can tell from things like that. Now, look, there she is. She always slept in my bedroom.
Hello, June. How you doing with the gravestone?
Oh, another one for the great unsolved, Sarge.
We're doing better with the corpse. We've had another sighting.
to Sierra Oscar receiving, over.
Receiving 416, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got the van and everything intact. No sign of the kids.
Bet you've had some right plonkers in here today.
About average, I suppose.
Yeah, very average.
Right, let's give this a little tonky in there.
No, I don't think so, son. Your blood pressure's a wee bit over the top.
My blood pressure? Leave it there.
Well, it's stress, I expect. So we won't do any of the biking today, and I suggest you have a check-up with your doctor.
That's a bit quick, wasn't it?
Bloody waste of time, innit?